Ooh, Amber. Are you ready for today?
A hot seat today. Woohoo!
Hello, my friends. If you are joining us live today, you're in for a treat and a half. My name is Laci, your Las Vegas gal. This is Amber Coleman, your Las Vegas lender, right? Can we just start
Yes,
calling you
that
that?
is
Las Vegas
perfect.
lender? We
Uh-huh.
are we are both not in Las Vegas right now, but we care so much about you that we are stopping what we're doing, going live to just bring you some really cool and good information. We go live every Wednesday and every Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time. As long as we're not on vacation or sick. So those are usually the only two reasons we don't go live. But we do try to keep it clean and keep it going. We're so excited today because we're going to be doing what we like to call now, because I made it up last week or 2 days ago, the lender hot seat. Amber, you better get ready. You're going to be like, yow, my biscuits are burning by the end of this thing.
Yep, I have my blueberries, so my brain's working good, right?
Let's do it. I love it. Amber Coleman is such a trooper, number one. Amber is ranked number 166 in the nation, my
You love
friends.
saying that,
Listen,
huh?
I am a cheerleader and I will brag all day to the end of days when I know somebody who's got some accolades that need to be shouted from the rooftop. So, all that being said, Amber's ranked number 166 in the nation from a lending perspective, from a loan originator. I don't know what the whole award is, but basically she's the best. That's all I have to say. She's one of the best. And so we're going to put her in the hot seat today. We often find that when we talk to people who are looking to buy a house, the biggest hurdle for them is not only worrying about being judged because they don't have perfect credit or all the things, right? But it's just understanding what the hell goes into the lending process and understanding. And frankly, I don't understand half of it anyway either because I'm not a lender for a reason. So we're going to basically put you in the hot seat today, asking some hard questions and just questions that we get asked from time to time to help you guys feel more comfortable reaching out, but also to let you know that you have some answers in front of you if you want to kind of start to process this thing. Before we get started, I am currently sitting in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm doing some filming. I was hired to do some filming out of state today. I've got my film team with me. We're at an Airbnb. And I have to ask you, Amber, because I know that you live in Utah or have lived in Utah. Like you've got family in Utah. Like Utah, right? You're familiar. So I walk to a
Okay,
gluten-free
now I'm
bakery.
scared.
Yeah, this is the hot seat question number one. You better get ready. I'm walking to the
Okay.
bakery, gluten-free bakery on the corner, and there was a strange house that was set up with like a drive-through on the side of it called Soda Licious. There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
line of cars
Yeah.
lining up behind it. What is the deal with the soda jerk shops? What is it?
Okay, so just to clarify, I do have a second home in Utah.
Okay, so you better give me the answer to this because I am shook
So,
right now.
so the soda places, so that's like Mormon coffee. So especially in the mornings when you see like long lines around the street, it's to get their Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, Coke, or whatever because they don't drink coffee. So that's like Mormon coffee.
Okay, so Joanne, so hold on, I gotta tell my filmers. We looked up the menu. It's like you can get the perfectly concocted soda, and I'm like, people sit in the drive-through for the perfectly concocted and
I know, I
flavored
thought the same
soda.
thing. I was like, this is so weird. And then I realized, oh, you're all going for caffeinated stuff in the
That makes
morning to get the
sense.
caffeine.
Okay, I'm gonna come. Joanne, come say hi. Joanne, this is my filmer. You have to find the camera. Come over here. Keep coming.
Hey,
Hi.
John, how's it going?
So Joanne's amazing. He does the filming. Oh, you're hiding. Look at you hiding. Hi. So if you guys see my videos, this is the man behind all the filming of my videos on
That's
YouTube
amazing
specifically.
videos.
She
Yeah.
said amazing videos. You do a great job. He
Oh,
can't hear you
thanks.
because I have to hear headphones in. But
Oh, okay.
so the soda jerk shops is their Starbucks. Yes. So it makes more sense now. So yeah, the Mormons don't drink coffee. All right, goodbye. I'll see you later. Goodbye. Anyways, bye, Joanne. Anyway, shout out to Joanne. He's the best. He's amazing. We're here filming out of state. Okay, enough about us. Thank you for that clarification. The other clarification I promised to show you guys was a lot of you were asking, because we got into a really fun conversation the other day about my rave daddy incident where we met with Nicolas Cage. I bumped into Nicolas Cage at Area 15. Everybody was like, what was the hat he was wearing? What was the outfit he was wearing? So I want to show you guys this is what Nicolas Cage was
Oh,
wearing.
that's Awesome.
at
I can't
area.
believe you didn't selfie behind him or something.
This is the Rave Daddy
That's awesome.
outfit that I walked right into Nicolas Cage wearing. Made my year. If Rave Daddy Nicolas Cage wants to take me to EDC this year, I'm in. I'm in. Okay, and last thing is today is my beautiful, beautiful son's birthday. Happy birthday, Phoenix. I know you're not watching this, but happy 19th birthday. I got both of the babies out of the way in April, so now we can focus on crazy stuff the rest of the year. Okay, let's get back to work. Thanks for letting me go off the rails for a minute. All right, Amber.
My beautiful son's birthday too.
Oh, I forgot for a second there. Sorry. Let me back up. Rewind. Happy wonderful birthday to my beautiful son, Phoenix, and Amber's beautiful son, Jordan. Damn, I'm such a horrible friend. I totally forgot. I was so selfish there.
You don't have to remember my son's birthday, but they do. It's weird that they share birthdays. So.
I know.
That's
happy
really
birthday to our beautiful boys.
Share birthdays. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm such a bad friend. Anyway, happy birthday to Jordan too. Now let's get me out of the hot seat. Okay, everybody, if you're watching and you put up with that, 5 minutes of nonsense, thank you. We are here to put Amber in the hot seat. If you're thinking about moving to Vegas, I don't care if it's now, 10 years from now, never. If you're just thinking about it, you don't know, please let us know. There's a phone number scrolling at the bottom of the screen throughout the whole thing today. Text me. Let's set up a phone call. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm happy to be a resource. I don't want you to go this alone. And then once you get through me, if you have actual financial questions, you want to have stuff answered, Miss Amber Coleman, number 166 in the nation for loan originators, whose birthday, her son's birthday happens to be the same as my son's birthday today. I'm such a bad friend. Like I'm totally screwed.
Not. You asked when we got on the call, like how's it? So it was just on the spur of the moment. It's all
for the moment. Anyway, drop it like it's hot in the comment box below. Today is a Q&A for you, live Q&A. Now, we definitely have some questions that have come through Instagram already that we put out. So if so we're going to start with those. But we are here for you, my friends. It does not even have to be about lending. You can ask us anything. You can ask us I don't know what else Mormons drink, because I guess I just learned today that it's just soda. I don't know. You can ask us anything you want, but super happy that you're here with us. Thanks for joining us live. Amber, are you ready to get started?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready for you. All
right. So I can't put some of these up on the screen because they didn't ask them in the chat, which is why all of you who are watching need to ask the questions. So I can put your name up there and you can get all the love from the audience. Ooh. So first question, Amber. Let's see. Can I buy a home in Las Vegas if I don't have a job lined up yet?
Nice question. So everything kind of depends on circumstances. So if you don't have a job lined up yet, like you can buy a house as a second home using your job wherever you've had before. Or if you're retiring, like you say you've worked before and you're retiring and then moving out to Vegas and you're going to use retirement income to qualify, you could use a job based off of retirement income. Or sometimes people go from like working from another place to like working from home. So then we just have to have a work from home letter and then you could use that income from it. So there's just different scenarios for everything. Did you like that one?
Hot seat. Yeah, my biscuits are burning. That's one of my favorite cartoon sayings forever. And I felt like hot seat. Yeah, my biscuits are burning. Biscuits meaning your butt. I think this is in alignment here. Are your biscuits burning yet, Amber? If not,
they're not burning yet. Keep going.
Oh, we're going to heat it up. Let's go. Why do we pay more taxes on why do we pay more property taxes on new homes versus resale?
Okay, so, that's more of a county thing. So in Las Vegas, in Clark County, where we do most of our loans and most of our deals, right? So Clark County does the taxes based off of the year that the house is built. So the year that the house is built is where the taxes are going to be assessed. Years in the past were a lot cheaper than years in the present. So, and there's a regulation where they can only raise it so much after the house is built. So that's why you'll see a lot cheaper taxes on resale homes versus new construction. New construction right now is ranging like usually about 0.9% of the purchase price is what I'll put on there for taxes. So
I love that. The other thing too, for everybody to remember is once you purchase the home, there's something that we like to say, tell you guys about called homesteading your home. I think that's what it's called, homesteading, where you have to make sure the county knows this is your primary residence. You want to make sure that you register with the county so that you make sure you stay within the proper tax structure, tax cap, tax bracket, whatever they call it, so that you don't have to pay more taxes than you should. So we try to help you with that after the purchase price, or after the purchase process. But Yeah, new homes, you're also, I think, paying the taxes as a part of the land because that's a part of the purchase as well. That's incorporated from what I've been told. So anyway, long story short, we can tell you a little bit more about the tax structure and how things work for you as we get into the purchase process. But looking at resale versus new homes, just know that those taxes are going to be a little bit higher. Property taxes are a little bit higher, but they're still better than California. Boom, let me say that. Okay.
Or anywhere. I was just in Texas a couple weeks ago. They were telling me about their taxes, and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
So like really anywhere. I don't know a lot of places that has lower taxes than
We're very
Las
fortunate with
Vegas.
our property taxes are really, really one of the big reasons why people are moving here, not just the no
Mhm.
state income tax for sure.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Just a reminder, guys, if you have questions for Amber about anything, house buying stuff, where to go to eat for dinner tonight, why we're so awesome. I mean, anything, Mormon coffee, whatever you want to ask us about, let us know. Drop it like it's hot in the comment box below. Once again, if you're thinking about buying a house in Las Vegas, text me at the number down below, or you can click the link in the description of any of our videos and get in touch with us that way. We would love to set up a phone call with you. Okay, Amber, I'm heating up the seat. I'm
It's
heating up the
hilarious
seat.
that the question you ask is about like, why is the soda line so long?
Well, it just made no sense to me. As I stated before, I'm in Salt Lake City for filming, and there's a soda store, like a it's set up like a Starbucks where you go through the drive-through, but it's called Sodalicious. Huh? Like, anyway, I can't, I don't, okay. Anyway, question. Can I qualify for a first-time home buyer loan if I've owned a home in the past, Amber?
Yes, you can. So
What?
here's how. So so first time home buyer is considered a first time home buyer if you haven't owned anything in the last 3 years. So if you
Oh,
like, I have some people that call me and say, I owned a house like 20 years ago, so I'm not a first time home buyer. There's no way for them to look at that. So the calculations for that is the last 3 years. So if you sold a house like in 2017 and now you're buying another house, you're a first time home buyer. If you sold a house in 2020 and you haven't owned a house since, you're a first time home buyer. Actually,
oh.
2021. We are in 2024 right now, right? So
Mm-hmm.
3 years is what calculates you as a first time home buyer.
That's amazing. I honestly,
Come
what? What? You think I'm not giving you hard enough questions?
on.
I'm heating it up, girl. You better watch out. You better watch what you ask
I
for.
know.
Okay. That's a really good though. So that's amazing. So a lot of people definitely get that stuck in their brain of like, well, I've already owned a home. It's over. So do we just in the loan world have like short-term memory loss or something? Like that's just kind of strange to me that there's that 3-year gap. I love it because you get to take advantage of it, but it's a little strange for me.
Yeah, I mean, certain things like VAs, like
Mhm.
veterans, they don't have any memory gaps. If they ever did a VA loan or screwed the VA over, it is always on record, like you know it, right? So you don't ever
Yeah.
want to mess with the VA, but like that's just the rule for first time home buyer, no matter how you go, conventional or FHA.
And it's not even the loan that it applies to. It also applies to a lot of the grants and things like that too, the free
Yeah,
money.
the grants look at it the same way. Yeah.
Speaking of grants, I'm going to pause for a second. Again, want to remind you guys, drop us some comments and questions in that comment box. We want to heat this up. I want Amber to say her biscuits are burning by the end of this.
Yeah.
But I wanted to tell you guys, so Amber and I did a little quick phone call before we went live today. And she said, dude, I think I just found the holy grail of free money programs and grants. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, this thing is like unbelievable. It's the most pliable, most flexible, most amazing. So, dude, just so you guys know, next Wednesday at noon Pacific Standard Time, Amber and I are going to be hard launching a new loan program, or sorry, not a new grant program. That's the holy grail. We believe at this moment, the holy grail of grants, meaning income limits are kind of pliable, debt to income ratio is kind of pliable. Basically, anybody and their mommy
Credit
can take
score.
advantage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a good one. I just saved a deal with it, and when I was going in and digging in it today, I was like, "Oh, we have got to sit. We got to talk about this one."
The noise that she just made, the whole is exactly what she did on the phone. She's like, dude, I just found the holy grail of grants. So you better tune in next Wednesday. The holy grail of free money grant programs about to be hard launched online next Wednesday. Okay, back to the questions. All right, you ready, Amber?
Yep, let's do it.
How long this is a softball. How long does it take to qualify for a new home loan?
So to qualify, I mean, typically you can qualify within like 24 hours. So you're going to fill out an online loan application, or we could take it over the phone, whatever works out easier, right? And then we're going to go through all your income, assets, and all that stuff. You'll send me over the paperwork, and then we're ready to go.
Hmm.
so you could do that pretty quickly.
Awesome. The other thing I'll tell you guys is a lot of people ask the question in parallel with that one is how long does it take to buy a house? Like, what's the process? So if you're looking to start shopping today, obviously we need you to talk to Amber and get some of the pre-qualification stuff done. But if you're looking to start shopping today and you want to be moved in by August, we're still a little bit early unless you're looking at new homes. New home or buying a home is only about 30 to 45 days on average, actually more than on average. It's literally, that's about it. 30 days is the escrow. Shopping usually starts about 90 days out. So just keep that in mind when it comes to your timing. Does not mean you should wait to call us though. Does not mean you should wait to reach out. In fact, if you wait to reach out, I'm going to have a problem with you. So talk to me today. I don't care if it's now, 10 years from now, talk to us today. Because if you're in our system and we've already started the conversation, boom, we can jump when we need to jump. We won't have to go through a lot of hurdles to get over it. So if you want to talk to us, by the way, there's a phone number at the bottom of the screen. Just let us know. Send me a text. We'll get in touch with you. It'll be great. Okay, this is a hard one, Amber. At least I think it would be hard. I would never be able to answer this question. How do you calculate debt to income ratio? And does it change per loan?
Well, okay, so how you calculate debt to income ratio is you're going to take your debts that you have on your credit report plus like any child support or things like that. You're going to take those, add it together, and then you're going to add your new housing payment into it, and then divide it by your income. So like if you're looking to qualify for like a $350,000 house, then I'm going to figure out what the principal and interest payment would be on tax, insurance, mortgage insurance, and HOAs included in that. We'll have that number, add it to your what's showing on your credit report plus child support, tax liens, anything like that that might not show, but it'll show other places. And then it'll figure out a debt to income ratio. Certain times there's different ways. So like if you're so your income, how we calculate your income is going to be different in certain ways. Like if you're self-employed, I have to calculate it a certain way for Fannie Mae and a certain way for FHA. So certain type of loan programs require a different calculation. Most of the time when you're W-2, most of the time it's going to be the same. The only thing that could differ is if you have like tips or commission income that come in. Sometimes they want a 12-month history and some want a 24-month history, depending on the type of loan. So did I lose you with all that?
No, girl, I'm in it. This actually kind of leads to the next question, which first of all, great information. A lot of people ask us this, and this came through Instagram from one of our questions. Again, guys, drop it like it's hot in the comment box. We want to answer your questions. This is a live Q&A for a reason. But these are all the questions I'm asking are people who submitted them on Instagram. I think they're afraid to go live with us. They're like afraid we're going to go in. I don't know. But it sort of leads to this next question. This is a question I have on my notes here. It said, I'm a gig worker. I've been doing it for 5 years. I drive Uber. I drive Uber Eats, Postmates. Basically, this person does a lot of different gig type work. Can I even dream of buying a home someday? Is it even possible for me?
Yes, come on, make that dream alive. So, okay, gig worker means that you're getting multiple 1099s from Uber Eats, Lyft, different things, right? So you're getting multiple 1099s within a year. Yeah. So what we're going to do is at the end of that year, the beginning of the following year, you're going to file taxes on it. And then we're going to take your income based off of how you file your taxes. So sometimes like if you filed, let's say you filed 2022s, but you haven't filed 2023s, sometimes it's good for me to look at it. So I can look at it and say, well, here's the amount you would need to be able to file. Did you make that much? And stuff like that. And then, just keep in mind when you're filing for stuff like that, sometimes a lot of people forget that depreciation, we count as income. Okay. So anything that can be depreciated on the lender side, we're going to add that back in as income. So we're going to take your bottom line after your write-offs as income and add depreciation back into it.
So there is hope. There is hope for the gig worker community.
Well, not only that, if you don't show a lot of income on your tax returns, there's always bank statement loans that we can look at as well.
So the answer is yes. And I think, I went a little AWOL, shit the other day on our Wednesday live because I'm like on a soapbox saying, don't lose hope. The hope of home ownership is alive and well. We're here delivering it with a megaphone, loud and proud. And I think the people who genuinely just count themselves out are people who don't have that corporate job, that steady paycheck, that W-2, right? That I work 17 jobs just to make ends meet. How could I ever think of buying a home? This is how you could think of buying a home. You could call the right people who want to, help you see the light at the end of the tunnel and look at the different ways of doing it. So absolutely don't count yourself out. And look, Amber off the top of her head just said, oh yeah, here's how we do it. Blah, 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 blah. Why is she ranked number 166 in the nation? Okay. I'm just going to keep pumping. I'm just gassing you up, girl. Gassing you up.
Gas it up, girl. Gas it up.
All right. Here's an easy one, but I definitely love it. What are the pros and cons of an FHA loan versus like a conventional loan?
Okay, so the pros of an FHA loan, FHA will allow you to go down to a lower FICO score, and they don't raise your rate and they don't raise your mortgage insurance. So like 620 FICO score for FHA is the same rate as if you had a 740 FICO score. The mortgage insurance is calculated the exact same way as well. FHA allows you to go to higher debt to income ratios as well as those lower FICO scores without taking a bump in the rate. And if you have like a bankruptcy foreclosure, their seasoning requirements are shorter than a conventional loan is. So those are some pros of FHA. On conventional side, if you have higher FICO scores, a lot of times you can get lower mortgage insurance than you can on FHA, depending on down payment and stuff like that. And once you have 20% equity in your house, you can request that the mortgage insurance, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Once you've been in the house 2 years and you've had 20% equity in the house, you can request that the mortgage insurance be removed from the loan. FHA, that mortgage insurance is going to be on there for the life of the loan. So,
got it.
So it's the, different ways for different people. One of the reasons why I'll use conventional though over FHA is if you're married and your spouse has bad credit and a lot of debts on there, FHA loans require that we count the spouse's debt, even if the spouse isn't going on the loan. Conventional loans, we only have to count your debt as the borrower. We don't have to look at the spouse if you're not married. So there's just different little tricks and stuff. Both of them are honestly really good loans. It just depends on your circumstance, what's better for you.
Love it. Love it. I have to, first of all, I just learned something new. I didn't know that whole spouse thing. So thank you. This is why I'm not in the lending world and I rely on you. Good information. Seriously. And that's honestly one of the biggest questions that we get is which loan should I do? It's like, and I'm always on the phone going, I don't know, talk to Amber. I have no idea. Talk to Amber. The reality of the situation is most of you can qualify and fit across several loan types, but the one that's going to work best for you is going to need to come, the advice for that's going to need to come from someone like Amber who can tell you exactly what she just did. If we do it this way, this is what it looks like. If we do it this way, this is what it looks like. And that's why she's so good at doing like the game plans for you. All right, we're going to take some questions from the audience. First, without a question, I just want to put this one up on the screen. Jake Gallen, my best friend on the planet, says we are both so cool. Hi, Jake.
Cutie.
so I can't take that compliment because he is my best friend. But Jake works in crypto, and I love that because that's one of the hot seat questions I actually had for you today, and I know he'd be asking it if he could. How does that work when someone's like kind of heavy in the crypto space, or even if they have like their own job, but then they also deal with crypto and get income from that? Are you able to count that as income towards what they're wanting to use to buy a house? Or is crypto so new and so kind of out there that the lending places don't want to have anything to do with it? How's that work?
So basically anything that you're going to file taxes on, we can count.
Okay.
So if you're making money off crypto in some way and it's showing on tax returns and you have a history of it, then we can count it. So if it looks like it's going to continue for 3 years and you have a history of it, then we can count it.
Okay. And then as far as that goes, like when you talked earlier about depreciation and how you count that as income. So if you're let's say I do crypto buying and trading and things like that full time, anything, and all my write-offs go, a lot of write-offs at the end of the year, because why wouldn't you, right? Or a lot of losses. Does that kind of still balance out with the crypto stuff as well?
Well, it depends on how you're buying and selling crypto. Like if you're doing it as a business, so you have it scheduled, you have like a Schedule C on your tax returns that shows what you've made and like what you're writing off because it's an actual business. then it's going to be calculated the same as any other business.
Awesome. Look at Jake. Jake's excited. He said, I'm saved. Yes. Thanks for joining. Thanks for shilling us up today, Jake. I have some really good questions here. So Jim Diamond, hey, Jim, good to see you. We're working together trying to help them find a house and do some cool stuff here. Said, let's see. He said, also, if the seller offers a buy down of a rate, is it for a specific period of time, 12 months, 24 months, or forever? I'm going to touch on that a little bit. And then I was going to ask you to touch on a little bit more, if that's okay, Amber. I know this is like the lender hot seat, but I like, I need attention too. I'm just kidding. Jim, so typically if you're buying, from a builder, if a builder's offering a buy down, like if they say, hey, we'll buy you down to 4.99% or whatever the offering is, that's for the length of the loan. The only time I've seen it not be the length of the loan is if they say we're going to offer like a 2-1 buy down, or they're specific with it being a structured buy down in terms of that. So a 2-1 buy down would be the first 2 years. You can explain this maybe, Amber, but it's structured based. It changes over the years. But typically if they say I'm going to buy your rate down to XYZ, that's for the full 30 years of the loan. When you're buying from a resale, like let's say the seller, you're asking the seller, hey, we're going to buy this house. Here's our offer, but we want you to give us XYZ dollars towards a rate buy down. That's on you and your lender to decide how you apply it and what you do with it. Amber, how did I do?
You did really good. So here's the thing that I would say. So on a buy down, so this is all money that's coming from the seller. So the seller will, if it's a builder, sometimes they'll say, here's the special this week, but really what it is, it's a lump sum of money they're giving you. So you could take that lump sum and you could do a permanent buy down, which takes your rate and makes it lower than what's being offered permanently on a 30-year fix. It affects it for the whole life of the loan. Or you can take that money and you could do a temporary buy down, which is what Laci was talking, which is there's a 1-1 buy down, there's a 2-1 buy down, there's a 3-1 buy down. The most popular is a 2-1 buy down, where you're going to take the first year is going to be like, say the rate's 7.5% and they're given 5.5%. The first year is going to be 5.5%. Second year is going to be 6.5%. And the third year and every year after that will be 7.5%. But for the first 2 years, you're going to save a lot of money by doing that. So you're basically, when you're doing a temporary buy down, you're gambling on the fact, because you could use that money either way. So you're gambling on the fact you think you'll be refinancing in those 2 years. So I'm going to take it all up front. Or do I think that I need to be able to go with a straight fixed rate and use all the money as on the fixed side of things? Does that all make sense?
That made sense to me, girl. This is why we got you in the hot seat. Here's a good question from our sweet future best friend, Matt Smith. He's our online bestie right now because we don't, we've never met him.
Good questions.
Is there any way to boost the amount that I qualify for? If I only make $65K a year, no debt, and I qualified for $300,000, most of the houses are over $300,000. So is there any way I can boost what I qualify for? That's a hot seat question right there, Amber.
That is a hot seat question. So, well, there's a couple ways. Your debt to, because we're going to look at your debt to income ratio, right? So if you pay down some debts, and I'm not sure how the debt to income ratio works, but if you pay down some of your other debts, that can boost it. If you take some additional money that you might have or can get as a gift and you buy the rate down further, that can boost it. Or you can add a cosigner to boost it as well.
It also could be, and again, from a new homes perspective, let's say they're offering, to your point, that rate buy down. You can walk in and only at this moment qualify for 300, but because they're buying your rate down, like for you, on your behalf, they have an program offering. They can give you that extra. You can spend 360 instead of 300 per se, whatever that looks like, to give you a little bit more. Yeah. So same thing, but the builders it's on the other side as well. So good question, Matt. Love you for the question. DLVTT, my sweet, sweet friend, said, sorry, it's off topic, but I have to do this shout out. Congratulations on your baby boy. Have a wonderful day. It's the baby boy's birthdays. This is our baby boy birthday hot seat live stream. This is like, I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it too hard. Oscar says hello from the Northwest. Hey, Oscar, good to see you as always. All right, guys, drop it like it's hot. We need some more information, some more questions from you in these comments. I've got some other questions coming, but Matt Smith said, what the hell is a rate buy down? Talk to us about that, Amber.
So rate buy down, like let's say rates are, we're just going to use the number 7 today. So if you go in and you buy a house at the going rate, around 7 today, right? I don't know what type of loan, so I'm just throwing.
Amber, I have our disclaimer on the bottom, so you're not going to get in trouble. You go right ahead.
I'm just throwing random numbers. I haven't qualified anybody. I'm just throwing a random number just so I could talk about the buy down. So if you want a lower rate than that, either you or the seller can pay to pay extra closing costs to help lower the rate. Typically, like the rule of thumb, sometimes it changes depending on that day's pricing because the pricing's been crazy lately. But typically, for 1% that you pay, it costs 0.25% in an interest rate. So if we started at a 7% interest rate and you pay 1% extra in closing costs, you can buy yourself down to a 6.75. And then there's you can't buy your way down so low, like at that ratio, but like, you know, we can play with the numbers to get it down by you paying more. So some people that are putting down a large down payment, sometimes I'll say, hey, let's mess with these numbers if they're payment conscious, and let's see if you could put a smaller down payment and then take some of that money to buy the rate down, because a lot of times the rate buy down will bring your payment down lower than the actual down payment will.
Right. Love it. Good question. Once again, good old Matt Smith. Love him. Oh, Jim's so sweet. Hey, Jim. Good. Thanks for continuing to watch. He said, we can't wait to see you in May to do some walkthroughs and cocktails afterward. Don't you know it? I actually wanted to, I can't wait either, honestly. They're so cool. You know what I love? One of my favorite things. I know you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. I love meeting new people. I have like a social battery that lasts most of the days long and sometimes for years long. And I just love meeting new people. And I am so fortunate. We are so fortunate that we get a chance to meet some of the coolest people from across the world because we do this thing called the internet, and we do YouTube strange live streams where I go crazy talking about Rave Daddy Nick Cage, you know, and all the stuff. So just so grateful for this job and what we get to do. It's amazing.
Excuse me. So last all day with your social battery though. Like I'll start turning off at a certain time of night, and Laci knows that time of night. It's pretty early, but then I see Laci like kicking into high gear, and I was like, "Dang, girl!"
Listen, you do it for me too. When I'm down, you pull me up. When you're down, I pull you up. Right? So no shade. Alan Oshiro said, "Wait a minute. There's no caffeine in Utah. Will Laci be able to get cocktails?" Come on, Alan. You know what's up. You know I know how to find me a cocktail pretty much anywhere. I found it already. A couple of places already. Yes, I did. Okay. We've got some other questions coming through. Do you offer straight amortization loans? Do you offer amortization loans? Straight line amortization loans?
Straight line amortization loans. So
could you tell me what that is?
Well, I don't know what it is, to be honest with you, because everybody's going to call things different.
Okay.
So like an amortization loan is like a 30-year fixed, a 15-year fixed, a 10-year fixed, and it's amortizing over that period of time. So straight line, I'm not sure like what you're referring to right there, because it's like I probably call it something different. If
all
it's
right, Matt,
offered for mortgages, I'm sure we offer it, but I'm not sure which one you're talking about on that.
Okay, good question, Matt. If you want to qualify it for us, let us know. I'm going to move over to another question in the meantime. Somebody asked us this the other day, but I wanted to bring it up again. PMI, private mortgage insurance, what is PMI? Tell us what the correct definition is, because everybody just uses PMI. Is it private mortgage insurance? Is it personal mortgage insurance? Is it poop mortgage insurance? I don't know. Like, what is it?
It's private mortgage insurance, but so there's two different ones. Like that was asked the other day too, is that what's the difference between MIP and PMI? It's really the same, but FHA calls it MIP and then conventional calls it PMI, but it's insurance that doesn't benefit you in any way other than to allow you to go over 80% loan to value and financing. And they're calculated different too. So FHA calculates theirs different than conventional does.
Okay. So a lot of people I've seen say over the years, don't mess with FHA. You have to pay PMI. You have to pay PMI. It is an additional fee included in your mortgage. However, it allows you to buy a house sometimes when you couldn't normally buy a house with other types of loans. Am I right, Amber?
Yeah, and I don't know why there's been so much hate towards FHA, because honestly, like a lot of times when I'm pulling somebody, if you're pulling somebody's payment like 3% down compared to 3.5% down, or like the down payments like that, or 5% down to compared to 3.5% down, like a lot of times FHA is going to be a better payment because the rate's lower. And the mortgage insurance depends on the mortgage insurance for conventional depends on your FICO score. So if you don't have perfect FICOs, then your mortgage insurance is going to be better on the FHA side. And really, those are easy loans they're easier to get through too. So I don't know why there's been such a bad rap on FHA. I can't figure it out.
Well, I think that, and I think you and I've noticed this too, there's so much clickbait out there. There's so many people that love to take the negative tone to anything that they do because that's what sells, sadly. And we try to do the opposite, which is why, I had somebody the other day say, you need to do more clickbaity titles and stuff on your YouTube. And I'm like, I don't do clickbait anything because I don't want to bait and switch anything or anybody ever. I always want to be as clear as this is what you're going to get when you click on this video for the most part. It makes me sad. That's just the way the world works. I think anybody who can take a negative thing and create a whole conversation about it, they're going to do it. But the reality is there's a reason and a purpose for PMI. There's a reason and a purpose for the FHA. There's a reason and a purpose for every single thing that you have to pay for when it comes to a loan. And it's up to you to just understand it and realize, well, if I didn't pay this, I wouldn't even be able to buy the house. Or if I didn't pay this, I would have to, everything affects everything else. And so, so don't get caught up and spun out by people who love to just take that clickbait. You're helping them, not only feed and fuel the negativity in the area and in the ether, but also just helping the conversation get too granular in an early stage of the process where it shouldn't be. That's a conversation for you later when you're talking to Amber directly. That's not a blanket statement kind of thing. We're here to share the bigger conversations and then tell you, just call us. By the way, there's a phone number right there at the bottom of the screen if you want to text me. Just text us. We'll get you set up with a phone call so we can actually dig in individually to your situation and not try to explain every little nuance to every little thing on every single thing that we do. That's not the purpose of this platform.
Exactly. One other thing that I want to say on that too is that in some past markets, like say COVID, when rates were 2%, you want to be able to keep that rate forever, never refinance it in your life, right? So you want to be able to get the lowest rate possible, no mortgage insurance, nothing, if you can do it, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that time would have been a good time for conventional if you had perfect credit, Right now, where that you're going to take a loan and refinance it at some point in the future, you take whatever is going to get you the lowest payment and that fits within don't listen to the other people's opinions, because your situation is going to be different than other people's situation, and you take whatever gives you the lowest payment.
Yep, that's done. Period. Done. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, Matt Smith says to qualify the straight line amortization loan. He said when you pay the same amount that goes towards the interest and towards the debt per payment. So that's the straight line amortization loan is what he's asking about.
Okay, so Matt.
Matt, please, Matt, can you please come and work for me, please?
Because you got some good questions.
Damn, dude.
So straight line amortization. So 30-year fixed, 15-year fixed, 10-year fixed, those kind of loans aren't going to be a straight line amortization, because most of the time you're going to be paying so what you're saying is if you're paying the same amount to principal and then to interest. No, most of those loans are going to be front loaded where you're paying more interest to principal, and then over the years it changes. And so that's why we have to send you an amortization schedule. A straight line amortization, I'm trying to think, the only way to probably do that is to do it on an interest only type of loan where you could pay principal in the same amount, or some type of HELOC or something like that. But you would have to choose to pay that principal. So I guess if you chose to pay the principal in the same amount, you could do that. It's just not going to be set up that way.
Yeah. Because a lot of people don't even realize that that's how it works. So I'll be honest, when I first bought my first home, I didn't know, even though they provided an amortization schedule showing your first payment, this is how much money goes towards interest, this is how much goes towards your principal actual loan balance. I didn't know. I was, however old I was in my early 20s, had no idea what I was doing. And it was very foreign for me to even understand, well, why is it that if I'm making a payment of this every month, that it's not chipping away this much every month at my principal and also paying that? Why is it not equal across the way? That's just what, listen, you're borrowing money. The person who's giving you the money is going to decide how they get paid and how they get paid back. So that's definitely how it's done. So what we've told people a lot of times is, really when you're in the process of talking to Amber about building out your loan, understand that you're not going to start seeing your loan balance. I've been paying my loan for 5 years. I should be down to this amount by now. No, that's not how that works. So you have to understand that a little bit better, but also understand what you can do on the side and with additional payments and things like that towards just the principal to help equalize what that looks like. So you can actually cut your entire loan term down by several years if you want to.
Love it.
Good one. Okay. Let's see here. Jim, good old Jim. What a cutie pie. Just got married, by the way. Congratulations, Jim. He and his gorgeous wife got married at Red Rock, sent me some amazing, beautiful photos. I cannot wait to see them in person again. Love them. Jim, does VA have PMI since they allow a zero down program?
The beauty of VA is so many different things. They have lower rates, no money down. They don't have monthly PMI. The only thing that VA has is VA has an upfront VA funding fee. If you're unless you have VA disability, if you have VA disability, that goes away. So if you don't have disability, then you have a funding fee. It changes if it's the first time using VA, it's one amount. And then if it's your second or multiple times using your VA, then it's another amount. But monthly, no, there's no monthly PMI on it. It's honestly a beautiful loan.
It's the best loan out there because, and it should be, thank you for all of your service, everyone who has done that for our country. Thank you for your service. That is one of the ways that we hope, that you're receiving the benefit of your service. So thank you for that. Richard DeToy, Richard, texted him yesterday. Going to be having coffee with him hopefully next week. Do you foresee new mortgage products in the pipeline to respond to the ongoing rise in property values when compared to incomes that basically can't keep up with the rise? Do you foresee this?
I do kind of foresee that. I can foresee that it hasn't happened in our past, but neither of our prices been like this in our past. So I can see FHA and conventional embracing 40-year fixed loans and stuff like that. Because right now there's longer term loans, but they're not really on the good rate type of loans. So I can foresee in the future longer term loans coming into our coming into our world where you could do a 40-year fix might be the new norm, at some point.
Amber, I want to pause. First of all, thank you. I want to pause for a second and bring up, you just recently were invited because you were ranked number 166 in the nation. You were invited to be part of a forum that they hosted to help come up with new loan products and new things, right, for the future based on what you know and your experience. What was that like? And tell us I know you can't say this is what's happening, but what was it like and what are some of the conversations happening related to the future of lending?
Well, the beauty of being at Guild is Guild does have a presence at Fannie Mae and some of the big players that make all the decisions. Cause we basically go and say, okay, here's what we're looking at doing. And then we're dealing with people like Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac to be able to put those things into place. So yes, to be able to have a voice in that and say, this would be great if we had this. Can you make sure to say this to the, to the people that actually put these programs into place? It was flat amazing. I was really glad I was invited to it, and I want to be a part of it year after year right now. So I have my big voice because, to be honest with you, when I get in a room like that, my voice doesn't stop.
Yeah.
I'm we need this and we need that and we need this. And can you do this today? Can you do that today? Can we do this today? So yeah, it was very nice.
Amber is her social battery goes up when it comes time for fighting for new loan programs. And are you seeing kind of when Richard's question was really on point with that, what are you seeing in terms of new mortgage products? Obviously that may have been part of the conversation, maybe a little bit.
Know what? There was another conversation about another product where they're looking to kind of separate to make it more affordable. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that they're doing it. They might in the future separate land from house to be able to make payments on house rate will be this and land rate will be this to try to make it cheaper combined. So yeah, in the future, there's a lot of different things that they're looking at right now that to try to make things, more affordable for people.
Love it. Awesome. Good. And stay tuned because Amber will probably be announcing some new programs as they come out. We will be announcing another. I'm just going to do one more plug because if you weren't here earlier, Amber called me this morning and said that she believes she has found the holy grail of home grant programs or free money programs. Next Wednesday, noon Pacific, we're going to be hard launching that across the internet with a megaphone to let you guys know one of the most flexible, the most approachable, and the most powerful, in our opinion, from what we've seen thus far, free money programs. So please tune in. We're going to do a hard launch of that next Wednesday, and also we just like to see you. So show up and maybe I'll talk about some more story times of what I've experienced in Las Vegas, like the one that I shared the other day.
Stories,
some more Nicolas Cage stories. And can someone please send us the last one to Nicolas Cage? And maybe, is he single? Like, I'm down. Let's go. I'm Rave Daddy Nicolas Cage got me all excited. I was very, very pumped. Rave Daddy. Does anybody else want to, let me just revisit this real quick. This is the hat that Rave Daddy Nicolas Cage was wearing when I bumped into him at Area 15. I cannot even believe it happened. Okay. DLVTT says, when you pay out your house as foreigners, what yearly house property expenses will there be left year after year?
So when you pay off your house, is that?
It's probably pay off your house as a foreigner. So we're going to assume, and DLVTT, just let us know if we're wrong. I'm going to assume when you pay off your house, let's say we're done with our loan is paid off, done. What are some of the other expenses we have to expect to continue to pay after that each and every year?
So when your house is paid off, you have no more loan. You'll have taxes. I mean, insurance is your choice, but I would suggest to pay insurance on the house, because if it catches fire, you're kind of screwed there. So like, pay insurance. And then if there's an HOA or SID lid in the community, those will be ongoing expenses too. So taxes, insurance, HOA, and any other assessments in the neighborhood. But you have no more principal and interest, so yay.
Yeah, so that opens up a lot more cocktail money for Las Vegas. In addition to that, we always recommend that you keep a home warranty on your home. So insurance is one thing. Home warranties help with repair expenses and things like that might come up, like say your AC breaks or you have a pool pump that goes bad. And if you have a home warranty, you can call them and they either have to repair it for a small fee or for like your visit fee, $65, $75, or they have to replace it. So those are usually anywhere from $695 to $1,500 a year, depending on how big your house is and if you have a pool or not. But that's something I always also recommend. But other than that, it's just your utilities and things like that. So paying off your house is a good thing. So talk to us when you get a loan so that we can help you understand kind of what goes into paying it off earlier and how you can go about that. Good question. First of all, Matt Smith says, you guys are amazing. Thanks for all the information. You're amazing, Matt. You're amazing.
Thank you for all your good questions. You make us think every time. We appreciate
it. Julia just read that I have a new baby boy. Wow, I don't have a new. Thank you, Julia. Do I have a new baby? I don't have a new baby. He's an old baby. Today, my baby is 19 years old today, and my other baby was 24 years old. Oh, I can't believe she's even. That sounds so old. Just 2 weeks ago. And Amber's baby boy is how old today?
25. Crazy.
Oh man. So I don't have a new baby, although no, I don't think I could do that again. I'm sorry. I was trying to think.
Put that in the air. That's bad stuff right there.
Listen, I have already done the world a favor by preparing and baking them in the oven and delivering two of the most wonderful human beings on the planet. Savannah and Phoenix are my life and my everything. Love you guys for saying that. Thanks, Julia, for the congratulations, though. I don't have a new baby, but I do have two babies that are not babies anymore. So thank you. Jim says, excellent. I'm 100% VA rated. Isn't there property tax exemption? Also, good question. Oh my God, Jim, I actually had that on my next question on my list. So do that.
Oh, what's nice. Up? Yes. So when you're a veteran and you have disability, Clark County gives you a discount on that you can use towards your property taxes and or your registration on your car. So you could take that and combine it in both, or you could take one or the other. So definitely don't leave that on the table, because it's not a tax exemption, it's a discount. I've seen veterans literally get into the house and then not have to pay tax on it, but it was because the taxes were super low. So it depends on the amount of taxes that are on your house, but definitely once you buy a house, you'll have to go down to the assessor's office with your VA disability paperwork and proof that you own the house so that they can apply your discount for you.
I love it. Oh my God, I'm so excited. That was a really good one. Thank you, Jim. You beat me to the punch. Thank you. Matt Smith, my new best friend, said, are there any special tricks to get a lower payment? I get all of these LGI home flyers saying to get into new homes for only $17.39 a month. How do they offer such a low payment? Matt, can we just please meet in person? I'm going to do a whole live stream where I just sit here and talk to Matt Smith live. often smarter than I am, asking way better questions, and usually knows the answer. And he's just helping us out by asking the damn question to help us answer these for everybody else. Let's go, Amber. How is it possible that these new homes are offering such low payments?
Okay, so when you're talking about like LGI, a lot of times I know right now LGI is offering 2-1 buy downs. So they're going to give you the payment on the first year. Because remember, a 2-1 buy down is going to give you a 2% discount the first year, 1% the second year, and then after that will be the regular rate that they offer. So they're offering you the 2-1 buy down the first year, and they're not including, most of the time on the flyers that you get, they don't include taxes, insurance, mortgage insurance. That's just principal and interest payments. So, which is true, that's your payment, but you also have taxes, insurance, and mortgage insurance a lot of times to put on there. So like when you see the true reality of the payment, it's a lot different than what's showing on the flyers. Another thing that some of the builders will do right now too is they do what's called a forward commitment. And so they're going to buy a bulk amount of loans from a mortgage company. And at the bulk amount, they're paying the mortgage company, a lot of times it's an obscene amount of money to be able to buy their rate down so they can lock in for that specific date. And then they can lock in a discounted rate on that. And then that's what they advertise out there for it. So sometimes they're doing 2-1 buy downs. Sometimes they're doing forward commitment buy downs. The money's coming from somewhere. So a lot of times the builder is putting it, I mean, if it's a builder, they're putting it into the forward commitment to be able to buy it down, but a lot of times raising the price of the house too, to be able to pay for it. So there's always a give and take on both sides, but that's how they're offering those cheap payments. The payment of $1,739 probably doesn't include taxes and insurance either. So you got to read the little fine print on the bottom of the flyer.
Let us read it for you and help you make sure that you're making the right decision. The other thing too is it's a lot of times people, they're going to buy my rate down, no problem. And then the rate is nowhere near what they get, the quote is nowhere near what they're being advertised. And that's because they're basing that off of just like with you can get a brand new Mercedes for blah, 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 $200 a month. It's because they expect you to have 850,000 credit, right? They expect everything to be perfection. And let's be real, not everything looks like that for most of us. So just, lean on us. Let us help you look at everything. You also want to make sure you're comparing apples to apples when it comes to all loan products. And we're here to help you do that. So good question.
This is another thing on some builders, because some of them are pretty straight up and they just show everything on there. Some of them have a little bit of smoke and mirrors on them. So it is definitely important to lean on the experts. And I'll tell you, even if I'm not going to do a loan, hey, this is what they're doing. Because sometimes they'll add points. They'll say, we're going to pay this much in closing costs, but then they'll add 3 points to your loan to be able to get that rate. Even though they're paying some of the closing costs, they're not paying all of them. So there's sometimes where there's different smoke and mirrors depending on the type of loan. So you want to look at the loan estimates pretty closely.
Yeah. And I will say that again, this isn't something I typically advertise out loud, but Amber, there's a reason that Amber and I work together. We give a lot of our time freely, and there's not always an exchange of money for our time. And that's okay. We both agree that that's the right thing to do, especially in this industry. There have been countless times where I have, shuddered as I said, done this to Amber, but called her and said, I know you pre-qualified my clients and they now are being offered something from a lender at the builder, because you're only going to get the special deals from the builder if you use their lender. And she will still, out of the goodness of her heart, take a look at it to make sure you're not getting screwed. But also what I want to say is a lot of these lenders rely on Amber to fix loans or make loans happen that they can't make happen themselves because they're not creative. They don't really know as much as she does. So there's a give and a take to this, guys. But the bottom line is we don't want you going straight to the builders. We really want you to start here. Starting here and going from here out is going to be the best way. There's no harm, no foul if you end up not utilizing the lending services from Amber, which kind of sucks because I always feel bad saying that because I know it's it takes time out of your day. But I think we all know that good goes out and good comes back as it's supposed to. So I just want to thank you out loud, Amber, for being such a giver of your time and your energy and being willing to just help help someone when they need help, because not many, in fact, none. I don't know any. I don't know one lender.
Oh, am I one of a kind? Oh, thank you.
You're one of a kind, kid. You sure are. You're one of a kind. All righty. Matt Smith.
I was just going to say, we just want to see people get into houses. So
yeah, it's the same thing. When I say, I don't care if you're going to rent or buy or don't buy at all, we both do the same thing. We take calls with you. We really want hope of home ownership to be loud and proud, and we want to see you win. So Matt Smith is saying, does being in a flood zone affect the loan at all? Good question.
It doesn't affect the loan at all. It does affect, well, let me take that back. Being in a flood zone is going to add additional flood insurance to your insurance policy. So it'll make your insurance policy a lot higher than what you would be if you weren't in a flood zone. So sometimes it can affect your debt to income ratio. If you're running tight on debt to income ratio and we have to add the extra insurance in there, sometimes that can affect it. If you have room on your debt to income ratio, it doesn't affect your rate or anything, but it does affect the debt to income ratio because it's a higher insurance.
Absolutely. I'm also going to say too, the flood zones in Las Vegas, where all the newer homes, not even newer homes, where most of the homes are being built in Las Vegas are not really in those flood zones. It's the ones that are down by the strip that are kind of close. We are a bowl, right, guys? We're a big old cereal bowl, that spills out, and the milk that spills is kind of spreading to the outside edges, not to the in. So the flood zones are really something that we'll see right away once Amber starts to pull insurance numbers and things like that. So we'll be able to warn you of that in advance. So that won't be a surprise. Yeah.
And to be quite honest, like in all my, should I say the years? Jeez, it just makes me sound old.
Do it, girl. No, it doesn't. It makes everybody go, what is she doing for her skin? So do it.
Oh, geez. So 22 years in doing mortgages in Las Vegas primarily. I've had I say 2 that have been in flood zones. So Vegas has done a really good job with their underground. But if you go in the outskirts of Vegas, like Pahrump area, I've had more out there that have been in flood zones where the underground hasn't been, structured yet or whatever. So in the Las Vegas area, though, there's just not a lot of flood zone areas.
Yeah, the development of Pahrump is still sort of on the newer side, so they're still figuring it out. It's also not as cool as Vegas. I'm going to be very real. So let's focus on Vegas. Although we do serve Pahrump, so let us know if you want us to help you find a house out there. We've sold a few, and it's been great. But yeah, there's a lot more hurdles you have to run through, and I don't know, that 45-minute drive to me might not be worth it. Okay, next. Julia, thank you so much again for the congratulations on my baby boy's birthday. Thank you so much. She said she heard Clark County Commissioner say that there's a new 20-mile, 12-inch wide paved bike path going in near Red Rock. There sure is.
Oh, that's exciting.
You guys, I'm about to think this is perfect segue. So thank you for bringing that up, Julia. I'm about to release Summerlin Part 1 and Part 2, very detailed information about all of Summerlin, every little pocket of Summerlin, every little baby neighborhood in Summerlin. But I do mention that in my videos, how they are the bike paths and the amazing just outdoor recreation complements of that area are so just amazing. You can take advantage of it even if you don't live in Summerlin. Just so you know. But what's cool is they are about to finish this really amazing, not finished, but they're about to implement that new bike path that's going to take you right through to Red Rock, which is just going to, once again, elevate Summerlin and make everybody call me about Summerlin, which is why I'm doing the damn Summerlin video. So stay tuned. Summerlin Part 1 and Part 2 are going to be out within the next 7 days. Really, really excited about that. Okay, let's see. Matt Smith says, I definitely believe in reciprocity. I agree.
Yeah.
Alan, don't you worry, sir. I did get a cocktail, even though I'm in Salt Lake City. I also got a coffee. I don't know if you guys have been counting the number of drinks I have in front of me. A coffee, a chocolate milk, and a water. I've been
chocolate milk, and I'm like, what are you doing, Laci?
When in Rome, right? I did not get a soda from the soda jerk shop because I did not know that was Mormon coffee until today. So I'm glad I know that now. Alan wants to know, can you explain again the 2-1 buy down and is there a 3-1 buy down? Will you walk us through kind of how those work?
Yeah. So a 2-1 buy down. Okay. So let's just say today's rate that you're looking at is 7, right? Why are you laughing? What did I do?
I'm laughing because I almost fell out of my chair.
Oh, okay. I was like, what did I do? Did I do something wrong?
No, I just leaned too far over and I had to catch myself. I'm like, did anybody notice that? All of a sudden I'm like, don't worry.
That would have been good though. You should have just went.
Yeah. Holy shit. Anyway, go ahead. Talk about I'm just going to shut up.
Okay. So let's just say the rate today is at 7, since that's the rate we're kind of sticking with right now, right? The 2-1 buy down is something that the builder, the seller, they're paying for you to get that rate lower. So dollar for dollar, they're paying for the difference between you to get the rate for the first year down to 5%, the second year down to 6%, And then the third year and every year after that would be at 7%. So the cost of that has to be, it can't be paid for by the buyer, has to be paid for by, I mean, it could be paid for like by an interested party, which is the seller, the agent, the loan officer. You know, like most of the time the seller's gonna be the one that can afford that because it's pretty expensive, but that's how you can pay for it. There is a 3-2, there is a 3-2-1 buy down as well, where you could buy it down 3% the first year. So again, if you start at 7%, then you're looking at 4% the first year, 5% the second year, 6% the third year, and then every year after that would be 7%. So if you locked it at a 7% interest rate. So yeah, there's all kinds of different buy downs, to be honest with you. There's 1 year buy downs, there's 1-1 buy downs, there's all kinds of different ones. It's just the 2-1 is the most popular one. The 3-2-1 gets pretty expensive for somebody to pay for.
That's really good information. Wanted to say hi to my friend's son, Jensen. Hi, Jensen. He just started his new YouTube channel and wanted to say hi to us. Thank you for saying hi, Jensen. Okay, this is a good question. Legacy Wealth said, Amber, is that number on the bottom of the screen your phone number? Is that your phone number, Amber?
That's Lucy's phone number.
That's my phone number. And so some of you aren't ready for all of what I'm bringing, which is like a lot, because I'm a lot. So I am actually I just added hope it's okay, Amber, is it okay if I put the cell phone, or do you want me to put the office number up?
No, put the cell number. Isn't my information in the description too?
It is in the description. It's all in the description, but I'm going to put it's the 604 number, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to like put her on blast. This is Amber's number, guys. So if you want to skip me, you're still going to have to work with me, by the way. But if you want to skip me and just jump right to Amber, this is Amber's phone number. Is that correct, Amber? Did I mess it up?
You should know by heart by now, but yes.
Girl, I don't know anybody's phone number. I don't even know my kid's phone number. I just go push their name on my phone and it calls them. So if you want to reach out directly to Amber, feel free. I definitely want to have a conversation with you. You don't have to go through the process right now. Amber's available all day. She's awesome. She's a really good person to reach out to. Text or call her, probably better to call, but whatever that is, give her a call. But I really do like talking to you guys too. So, don't forget about me.
Well, and then also when I'm done with, then we'll pass you back and forth. It's going to be like, that's going to be like a game. We're going to pass back and forth between you, me, and Laci.
I love it. I love it. So yes, thank you for asking. Once again, guys, I'll put it on the screen just for a minute. If you just want to ask some specific loan questions, specific grant questions, and you don't want to deal with all my energy just yet, feel free to reach out to Amber.
With all your energy, come on.
No, listen, I get it. I also don't. They can tell I'm the dumb one on these live streams. So that we go to the smart one first, and then come to the fun one. I'm not the fun one. I'm the dumb one. I'm not the dumb one. I'm the fun one. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
All righty. Okay. Let's see. All right. Is there a specific condition the home needs to be in per loan type? Oh, great. Matt, are you sure you're not a realtor? Like, what is going on here?
I think he does have his license somewhere, right? But yeah, there is, or if you don't, Matt, you probably should, because you're pretty smart in this industry. So
Matt, call me, please. I will put you to work. Let's go.
Yeah. So, there is per loan type. It does have to be in a certain condition. Like FHA is going to require the house be livable. Most of them are going to require that they be livable in certain ways.
Yes.
VA has their own restrictions on them too. Conventional doesn't have too many restrictions, but if it's a safety issue, then conventional will condition for things to be repaired as well. So like all of them, we could probably do a whole YouTube video of what every different, in fact, it would be good probably to have Brent on here if we're going to go through what every different one requires, because there is specific requirements for every single one. Yeah.
So actually what we'll do, guys, is we've been making the commitment that we're going to start bringing experts on, because you've got the fun one, you got the smart one, and then we've got the experts outside of our realm. So we brought Brent Jones. If you haven't watched this already, we did a really fun Q&A with Brent Jones. He's an amazing, one of the best appraisers in the city, in my opinion. Been doing it 30 something years. Yes. Awesome. And he's fun and he's cute and he has a good time. So, so we're going to probably bring him back on. We've got other experts that we're going to bring on as well. So when we hard launch some of these cool, grant programs and loan programs, we're doing our best. A lot of people are scared to be live on the internet. Let's just be very real. So it's hard to get people to agree. to come on live, but we're going to do our best to bring on some of the people who are experts in the field. So if you know of someone that you want us to interview, or if you have any suggestions of what the type of person that you think you would like to have us interview or talk to, let us know. Drop it like it's hot, or you can text the phone number on the bottom of the screen, which is my number at this point in time, and we'll get them on and see if they're willing to go live on the internet. I don't know why people are so scared. I don't know. Actually, I do know why, because I was scared out of my mind when I first started doing it too. You just got to push through.
Yeah, I remember the first time you had me on a live. I was like,
oh man. You did great. We should go back and like pull clips from those. I remember that one time. Here comes Amber right in the middle. This is a really good one. Matt says Lennar Homes has a 2.99 year one, 3.99 year two, 4.99 remaining buy down at the moment. That's right. Actually, I want to touch on that. A lot of the builders are offering some cool stuff, but I want to be very real with you guys. When you work with a realtor, especially one who does this much volume with those specific builders, you may even be able to get more. So please do not go to Lennar's website and fill out a I need to know more information form without calling me first. I mean that. I'm going to scream it from the top of the rooftop, because I've had at least 3 people in the last 2 years, last year actually. Hey, I just want to let you know, I told Lennar that you're my lender. I told Lennar that you're my realtor. When I called them, they said that's fine. And now I already put my contract in on the house. Can you help me negotiate the price? Nope, I sure can't. FYI, I could have, but I told them that you're my realtor. Yeah, they don't care. They're going to say whatever that you want them to say to get you to say yes to the freaking house. You can't negotiate anything. So please do me a favor, contact me first. You will be able to negotiate the price most of the time, not all the time. You will be able to get sometimes a better deal on some of those rate buy downs, and you're going to have the information that nobody else has in the nation, because it's not on the internet. Some of the stuff that we know is not out there for you to know about. You got to call the people that are doing the work. So sorry guys, got to go through me for my team.
And on the subject of Lennar too, like, because they do, like, they have some crazy good programs out there, but a lot of times they're only for specific properties. And sometimes it'll show if you have a 780 or higher FICO score with 20% down. So like, you have to look at the fine print on that. Sometimes they don't have to put the fine print because they're not a lending company. So they don't have all those laws for the rates and stuff like that. But like, there is, it's not just blanket, like any Lennar house you buy is going to be like this. You know what I mean? They're going to.
In fact, it's not going to be that. I've got people who want to build a brand new home. What they want to choose the cabinets, they want to choose the counters. They're not offering any of that for those.
Yeah,
they don't have to, because that's long term. They want the stuff that's sitting on their books right now to go quickly, and the only way to do that is to do incentives. The only way to do the incentives is to advertise these crazy, ridiculous. How could it be? It can't be most of the time. So let us know. Let me do the negotiation. Let me fight for you, and we'll go from there. Neo of 1442 says, I'm going to be on vacation on the 28th to May 1st. Congratulations. I'm going to visit Durango Station to gamble and then drive around the area. I hear that's the area to find a property. Well, Neo 1442, first of all, Durango Station's hot to trot. You'll probably bump into me with a cocktail in my hand, I'm certain. Especially if I'm at the Mexican restaurant, because that is like my favorite place. If you guys are going to go to Durango Station, I highly recommend it. It's amazing for foodies. Awesome. Yes, the area of Durango, around Durango, is in the southwest side of town. It's going to be the new heart of Las Vegas. It's already maybe the new heart of Las Vegas. Lots of really great areas to look for houses. The one thing I want you to know, though, is that I offer an pretty amazing, I'm pretty sure it's amazing, self-guided tour. So it's not the only area you should be considering. So if you'd like access to that self-guided tour, send me a text to the phone number that's on the screen below. Let's set up a time to talk. If you can't talk with me or don't want to chat yet, no problem. I'll send you an email with the self-guided tour that'll show you each and every area of town and how you can explore and get to know what's going on in Las Vegas. And what's awesome too is if you're going to be in town, it's going to really help you, parcel out your time for the trip, right? So say you only have like 2 days. I'm going to let you know, okay, these are the areas you should focus on. And good news for you, I've made it very easy for you to do that with that self-guided tour. So you're not ping-ponging all over town and wasting time in the car when you don't need to. So good question. And I would love to help you look for a house. And if you're looking for a house, I better be the phone call that you make. Guys, the one thing that's like, we love doing these live streams. We love making content. But the most frustrating thing is when a lot of you guys will watch what we're doing and saying and learn from us, and then go and just call some rando online and find a realtor somewhere else. And it's not about because we want everything for ourselves. It's because if you're learning from the best, why wouldn't you want to work with the best? I don't understand why anybody would go do that. We're not too busy. We have a team of agents who work for me who will help you if I happen to not be in town or something's going on. I'm involved in all of the deals, regardless of whether I open the doors or not. So you're going to have access regardless. I'm not too busy. I'm not famous. A lot of people think Amber, do people think you're famous when they bump into you out in the open?
Mostly when I'm with you.
First of all, stop. First of all, it's people think because they watch us on the internet that we're famous and we're and that's lovely. And yes, they do think you're famous. They're like, oh my God, you're Amber from the internet. We are regular ass people who do regular ass jobs who want to help you buy an awesome house. So please don't watch our stuff and then go find someone else to work with. Please know you're going to get the best when you work with us. And I would love to help you, Neo1442, and anybody else watching. Julia is asking a great question. Are there any co-ops in Las Vegas metro area?
Like, is that
silence? Did you see the silence on both of them?
Well, I don't know. I was thinking that was like for the agent though. So like co-ops, tell me what
No, I think there's a co-ops is a thing in New York City and some other major metropolitans. That's not something that's very common here or that I've ever seen here. So the only close thing to that would be like high-rise buildings where you have like the HOA and you can get on the board at the HOA, things like that. But there are not co-ops in Las Vegas that I'm aware of.
Commissions. I was like, I don't know what co-ops mean. So
hence the reason, like
looking near what New York City's do.
No, there's nothing that I've seen. There's nothing like that. And so if there are some of them, I've never dealt with them, and so that means they're absolutely not that popular. But thank you for asking.
A blank look on my face with that, weren't you?
I loved it. And you know what? We don't leave a lot of space for silence, but I do love to do it every now and then just to make both of us go, who's answering it, you or me? Ben Clayson says, Vegas celebs in the house. You know we're not celebs. No, we're Amber, I want to say thank you once again for letting us put you in your hot seat. Are your biscuits burning? Are they burning yet?
They're burning now. Yeah, let's keep going.
Yow, my biscuits are burning. That's like the Yosemite Sam. He's my favorite, one of my favorites. I just want to say thank you for letting us put you in the hot seat today, Amber. Love you so much. Love that you are so generous with your time. On and off screen, so generous with your heart, and that you're so willing and excited about sharing the hope of home ownership. It's an honor to sit next to you all the time, but it's an honor to see you working and at work. So have a little bit of a moment with you right now. It's an honor to be your friend and to know you and to also learn from you. It's been an amazing journey over the last 7 years, my friend.
Crazy how time flies.
7 freaking years. Like I'm like, I had to take a deep breath when I said that. It's been 7 years. I'm going to get a little verklempt as I do this, but to really be able to see the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that we've helped save money, helped save time, and helped find hope for the hope of home ownership. So if you are watching and you've been watching for any amount of time, whether it's 1 minute or 5 years, and you are still sitting on the sidelines, please don't. Please reach out and say hi. Even if you're not going to buy a house, I'd love to say hi and say thank you for tuning in. Love to just spend some time understanding your world and understanding what you're going through so that we can see how we can maybe fit into it or not. Either way, we're just really, really honored and excited that you keep tuning in. I'm blown away. I am only, by the way, just for my YouTube channel, only 250 away from 20,000 subscriptions, which is weird.
Oh, look at you. That's awesome. You know, I remember the day when you hit like, I think it was 10,000 viewers on Instagram and stuff like that, but look at how far you've come.
Yeah. And thank you. And for me, it's absolutely not about those numbers. If it was about those numbers, I would have 1 million subscribers because I would go down the road of clickbait titles and creating commentary that doesn't feed the soul of anybody or help our community out, that feeds the money in the bank account of the person on the other side of the camera. So I'm just not interested in that. I'm interested in doing what we've committed to together over the last 7 years, side by side, bringing hope of home ownership to you and honestly helping you learn how to live your best damn Las Vegas life. So if you're thinking about moving to Vegas now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, if you already live here and you hate it, call me. I'll help you love it. If you already live here and you love it and you don't think you're going to be able to stay because it's getting more expensive, call me. We'll figure this out together. But just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to you, Amber, for letting me put you in the hot seat.
The hot seat. I loved every minute of it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I appreciate our friendship. I appreciate you and the genuineness of what we do every week.
Absolutely. Me too. This is an honor and a pleasure. And I don't ever want to stop. So we're going to keep on keeping on. Next Wednesday, noon Pacific Standard, we are going to hard launch the Holy Grail of free money programs, at least at this point in our career. If you're thinking that you can't qualify for free money, you better stop right there. You better tune in next Wednesday. We might have some different information for you. So tune in next Wednesday, noon Pacific Standard Time, right here, wherever you're watching us. Thank you again for everything. And I'm gonna go find a soda jerk shop here in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Go see what it's all about. Go get your coffee.
Thank you for the education. My Mormon coffee, I guess, is what it is. I'm learning. I want to thank you guys for everything. And we will definitely talk to you soon. We'll see you next Wednesday. Bye guys.